Good evening, everybody. Little heads up here. We got a little package came from Britain. Bench Dogs UK. I got a little heads up on one of their sales, and I just couldn't resist. If you have one of these MFT tops that you use on a regular basis, and you use it with storage. So underneath here is basically a Polk style bench. And I have things like sanders, sandpaper, clamps, that type of thing that sit underneath here. And also on that end, somewhere around there, is all my shorter rails for my track saw. And they store under there quite nicely. But the problem is when I'm sanding or doing projects, or there's, using a router and you get that stuff flying off because not all of it goes in the vacuum. You get these little, chunkers that kind of fall in the holes. And I'm starting to get kind of annoyed because when I pull the rails out to use them, they're just, I got to spend, a little bit of time cleaning them off and making sure that the saw is going to slide nicely on there and that there's nothing, going to bind up or that type of thing. And I'm starting to get a little, frustrated with that. So I noticed they had these things. And basically, they're plugs for the holes. Now, the whole thing is that these things sit a little bit proud because you just can't plug it because these are straight through holes. But you can order this thing. It's a chamfer tool, which puts a very tiny chamfer on the hole, and it's magnetic. Now, here's the whole thing. What's going to happen when you have metal on your workbench and you get a blob of glue or something like that on there, a little bit of something, a little water, it's gonna rust. But this is magnetic stainless steel. I love that idea. So all we have to do, take our little chamfering tool and give it a couple turns. And this is a kind of goop, these little things, like little bits of sawdust and, things from when you're maybe just shaving, sanding small parts, you get on there. So now that there's a little chamfer, let's take this little guy. You got to be careful because these edges are sharp. I almost cut myself once or twice. And they just pop in there. Look at that. How do you get it out? Well, you could reach underneath, but magnet, stainless steel. Look at that. Fantastic. You can even use this thing to put it in and just slide it off. And you can adjust the little cutter in there. It's basically just your standard four-sided carbide cutter. So it's going to last a heck of a long time. You're going to have to work really hard to screw that up. And this little bolt holding it in there is not convex on the other side, so it doesn't register the little cutter. So you can move the cutter forward and back a little bit, and there's tight tolerances on the sides here, so it doesn't twist a lot. It works fantastic. I brought it all the way out, tried a couple test holes, slowly moved it back. It works good now. So it's just barely under the top of the table. I had some other ones where they were just above, but at that end of the table is my table saw. So offcuts are going to come down this way. If these things are a little bit tall, I'll guarantee you whatever hits it is going to stop. So these have to be under for me. Maybe you don't have that issue. Maybe you want them up just a tiny bit. Don't know. I like just barely under. I am so excited about this because now underneath my workbench, underneath all this stuff is going to be cleaner. It's not going to be clean, but it's going to be a lot cleaner. Here's the packaging. It's basically just a gigantic tube. But interestingly enough, where'd it go? On this one, caution. This product has sharp edges. Yeah, you got to be careful with these. You're not going to let your kids play with them, anything like that. I got about 50 of them. I'm thinking I kind of screwed up. I should have gotten more. Shipping was like 50 Canadian. and then I got dinged with $35 between taxes and custom clearance fees, and I think prime minister fees and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping I got enough here. And I figured, well, since I'm ordering that, I might as well order some other stuff because the shipping's exactly the same and it didn't add much to the order. So I got some of their little aluminum bench dogs. These are the 40 millimeter tall ones, anodized aluminum. I think I think they come stock black. I think you might be able to get a clear silver aluminum, but again, nicely screened on there, and they fit really nice. Where are they? Oh, hey, wait a minute. Let's pull that out. Put your dog in there. Done. And there's a little bit of wiggle on them, but again, once something's butted up against it, it's perfect. And then there's also a 12 millimeter dog. So again, they just fit in there really nice. Again, this is the PARF guide system I use to make my set of holes with their fancy carbide cutter. So going all 20 millimeters. These aren't 3/4 or 20 millimeters. And once I'm done with the hole, back in, good to go. These are nice, and they also have the machined thread in there. So if you have a 6 millimeter sort of big washer and nut, you could actually boom, hold these down. I think Benchdog sells like one of those big knurled knobs that'll allow you to secure these things down. I haven't had to need to do that, but I have come across where I've been using these more and more for getting them in place and then bumping materials up to this while I'm cutting it or pushing it or sanding it or that type of thing. So it really does come. They really do come in handy. And then I have my rail system, the cutting rail system for basically panel cuts rather than a sled on the table saw over there. If I have bigger panels, I just cut them on here with the track saw. Seems to work quite well. Anyways, I'm going to go through, I'm going to do some more of the table. And I'm going to bring you back and just show you how awesome this kind of looks. And if I run out of these little plugs, there's some areas on that side of the table I don't tend to use a whole lot. But for sure, I'm going to try and do it on all the areas where stuff is stored underneath here. Anyways, these are pretty cool, and they're light. They're not super heavy like the stainless steel ones. So, hope you like this. Let me do a few of these holes, and I'll bring you back. Oh, look at that. That is a snazzy look. And, the incomplete hole pattern on my MFT table, I've always got crap on my workbench. Honestly, if somebody has a workbench that is perfectly pristine with nothing on it, always meticulous, there's something wrong with them, or they're not doing anything in their shop. Anyways, these look really good. Even if you get glue on it, it's going to protect the hole from getting goobers in it. I like this sort of setup here. Oh, I need lots more though. I got a whole bunch of holes over here. I got 50 thinking, 50 is going to be lots. Not quite. I was able to get that over there done. Now, the reason is, this is what my tracks look like sitting under here when stuff falls through those holes. So I got most of the holes in that area done to cover over the tracks. I'm actually going to make, you can see, this is just a big old hole through it that I put my tracks in. I'm thinking I should make like a I don't know, couple layers here, some stringers or something to put the tracks to sit on. What do you think? Got lots of room. Cool. Anyways, some new stuff from Bench Dogs. Oh, and when putting them in, you can put them in just by hand, but honestly, the easier way is just to get them on here. They plop in super easy. That's way better than trying to sharp edges. Careful. I hope this helps you guys. Some new stuff from benchdogs.co.uk. Check out their website. Not an affiliate. They're never a sponsor of mine. I buy their stuff because I like it. hard-earned money goes into these things, and you know, I think if you're looking for value for money, this for me looking pretty good. Haven't had a chance to try it yet because I just got it today, but let's see how things go. If you're in the Winnipeg area in Manitoba, Canada, and you're looking at getting some of these, let me know. I'll help pay some of the shipping and that type of thing. I need more. I don't need them enough to make another order and dump a bunch of money on stuff, but good stuff here. Hey, go out, make a mess, or prevent a mess. And I got some other projects where we got the CNC up and running. I got to make some better hold downs. I've been using the tape and CA glue trick. That's just a pain in the patootie, especially when I'm doing some runs of just some cedar or stuff like this for some little signs I'm doing some prototypes of to see if there's any interest locally. Let's go from there. Hey, if any of this helps, if any of it's useful, throw me a little subscribe, maybe a little click on the like button. Otherwise, go have some fun in the shop, enjoy life, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.